Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4. Today we'll start the new chapter, chapter number 6, Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva. Text number 1 and 2. Maitre Vacha At Devgana Sarve Rudranika Praja Prajitaha Shul Pattish Nistrincha Gada Parigham Udgaraha Sanchin Bin Sarvanga Sarvit Vak Sabhya Bhayakula Swayambhuve Namaskritya Karshner Netanya Vedayan. All the priests and other members of the sacrificial assembly and all the demigods, having been defeated by the soldiers of Lord Shiva and injured by weapons like tridents and swords, approached Lord Brahma with great fear. After offering him obeisances, they began to speak in detail of all the events which had taken place. Uplabhya puravetad Bhagavan Abjasambhava Narayanascha Vishwatma Nakasya Dharam Iyatu. Both Lord Brahma and Vishnu had already known that such events would occur in the sacrificial arena of Daksha. And knowing beforehand, they did not go to the sacrifice. They knew that this was going to happen. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vedaham Samatitani Vartamanani Charja. The Lord says, I know everything that has happened in the past and is going to happen in the future. Lord Vishnu is omniscient and he therefore knew what would happen in Daksha's sacrificial arena. For this reason, neither Narayan nor Lord Brahma attended the great sacrifice performed by Daksha. But still, see, Lord Vishnu knew what's going to happen, Brahmaji knew what's going to happen, and it was Brahma's son, Daksha, who was performing the sacrifice. Still, they didn't stop him. They didn't tell him this is what is going to happen if you don't fix yourself. It is, see, this is the independence that we all have. Lord Vishnu knows Vedam Sampitani Vartamani Charjan Bhavishyani Bhutani Mam tu Vedna Kashan. Krishna says, I know everything, past, present, or future, but no one knows me. So, but still he does not interfere with the independence of the living entity. He can stop everything, but that would make all of us as robots. No independence, no freedom. And this is not what he wants, because love cannot be forced. A living entity has to love Krishna on his own. Understanding, first of all, understanding that this material world is not a fit place for me to be in. And then secondly, understanding my place is in Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world with Krishna, as a loving associate. So I have to develop that love for him. Robots do not develop love for the masters. They just do whatever the master tells them to do. So for this reason, Krishna, Vishnu, or even Brahmaji here did not interfere with the independence of Daksha. They wanted Daksha to learn the lesson himself. Tada karnyam vibhuhu praha teji yasi kritagasi kshemai tatra sabhuyan prayena bhushitam. When Lord Brahma heard everything from the demigods and the members who had attended the sacrifice, he replied, you cannot be happy in executing a sacrifice if you blaspheme a great personality and thereby offend his lotus feet. You cannot have happiness in that way. Lord Brahma explained to the demigods that although Daksha wanted to enjoy the results of fruitive sacrificial activities, it's not possible to enjoy when one offends a great personality like Lord Shiva. It was good for Daksha to have died in the fight, because if he had lived, he would have committed such offenses at the lotus feet of great personalities again and again. According to Manu's law, when a person commits murder, punishment is beneficial for him, because if he is not killed, he might commit more and more murders, and therefore be entangled in his future lives for having killed so many persons. Therefore, the king's punishment of a murderer is appropriate. If those who are extremely offensive are killed by the grace of the Lord, that is good for them. In other words, Lord Brahma explained to demigods that it was good for Daksha to have been killed. So Daksha was killed and all the sacrifice was completely messed up, completely destroyed. And so many Brahmins and sages, they were beaten up. And the rest of the Brahmin sages ran towards Brahmaji. And now Brahmaji is saying it's good that he got killed. Otherwise he would have committed more offenses at the lotus feet of greater personalities. Athapi yoyam kritkil basha bhavam ye barhishu bhag bhajam paraduhu prasadayadhvam parishuddha chetasa kshipra prasadam pragrihitam kripadmam. You have excluded Lord Shiva from taking part in the sacrificial results, and therefore you're all offenders at his lotus feet. Still, if you go without mental reservations and surrender unto him and fall down at his lotus feet, he'll be very pleased. So Brahmaji is telling them what's the way out. Lord Shiva is also called Ashutosh. Ashu means very soon, and Tosha means to be satisfied. The demigods were advised to go to Lord Shiva and beg his pardon, and because he is very easily pleased, it was certain that the purpose would be served. Lord Brahma knew the mind of Lord Shiva very well, and he was confident that the demigods, who were offenders at his lotus feet, could mitigate their offense by going to him and surrendering without reservation. So their offense, the offense on part of demigods, was they attended the sacrificial sacrifice and taking part in the sacrificial results. So they all became offenders. Of course, they didn't commit offense straightwardly, first-handedly. That was Daksha who committed. But still, because they took part in the sacrificial results, they also became part of that offense. And to completely absolve one of all the offensive reactions is one has to just go and beg mercy from the person who they commit offenses at. But most of the time, first of all, we don't understand that we have committed offense, or we don't even admit that we have committed offense. And then secondly, it's very demeaning if we have to go and beg for mercy, beg for forgiveness. Because we are thinking in our hearts, oh, if I ask for forgiveness, then the person might think I'm low and he's high and this and that. But we have to worry about our progress in bhakti. It doesn't matter what the other person thinks or behaves or believes. Who cares? All we have to do is ask for forgiveness, and like Brahmaji is saying, just surrendering without reservation. Means don't think that Lord Shiva will take revenge, or even if he wants to, you just surrender. You ask for forgiveness and surrender. And Brahmaji said he will be very pleased. Lord Shiva is a Param Vaishnava, he is Ashutosh, he gets pleased very fast, very quickly. So there was no reason for demigods or the Brahmins or the sages to feel ashamed or feel scared of Lord Shiva. And similarly, the other Vaishnavas also, they get pleased very soon. All we have to go is ask for forgiveness. That's all. And after asking for forgiveness, if they still don't pardon or forgive, then it's okay. Then Krishna understands, Krishna forgives. So we don't need to worry much about that. All we have to worry about first, not to commit offense, and if we have committed, ask for forgiveness. In fact, we should ask for forgiveness even if we think we have not committed offense. Because there's no harm, it's only of great advantage of being humble. It's all advantages, always. Ashasana jivitam dvarasya lokasapana kapite nayasmin tamashu devam priyaya vihinam kshamapayadvam tridividham viruktah. Lord Brahma also advised them that Lord Shiva is so powerful that by his anger all the planets and the chief controllers can be destroyed immediately. Also, he said that Lord Shiva was especially sorry because he had recently lost his dear wife and was also very much afflicted by the unkind words of Daksha. Under the circumstances, Lord Brahma suggested it would behoove them to go at once and beg his pardon. So, first of all, understand Lord Shiva's power. He's so powerful that he can destroy all the planets and the chief controllers immediately, because this is what he does at the time of dissolution. And he said, Brahma said, right now he's also feeling very bad because he lost his wife, and Daksha had said so many nice, so-called nice or unkind words for him. So under the circumstances, just go and ask for forgiveness. If he gets more angry, then there will be more problem. Naham na yagyo na cha yuyamanye diye dehe bhajo manyascha tattvam viduh pramanam balvire yorva yastva yasyatma tantrasya kapayam viditase. Lord Brahma said that no one, not even himself, Indra, all the members assembled in the sacrificial arena, or all the sages could know how powerful Lord Shiva is. Under the circumstances, who would dare to commit an offense at his lotus feet? After Lord Brahma advised the demigods to go to Lord Shiva and beg his pardon, it was suggested how he should be satisfied and how the matter should be placed before him. Brahma also asserted that none of the conditioned souls, including himself and all the demigods, could know how to satisfy Lord Shiva. But he said, it is known that he is very easily satisfied. So let us try to satisfy him by falling at his lotus feet. Actually, the position of the subordinate is always to surrender to the Supreme. That is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord asks everyone to give up all kinds of concocted occupations and simply surrender unto Him. That will protect the conditioned souls from all sinful reactions. Similarly, in this case, Brahma also suggested that they go and surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. For since he is very kind and easily satisfied, this action would prove effective. And because Brahmaji knew the mood of mind of Lord Shiva, then he gets pleased very quickly. All we have to do is just surrender and ask for forgiveness. Saitam adishya surana jastute samanvita pitribhi saprajeshe yayo swadhishneya nilayam puradusha Kailasa mudri pravaram priyam prabho. After thus instructing all the demigods, the pithas and the lords of the living entities, Lord Brahma took them with him and left for the abode of Lord Shiva, known as Kailash Hill. So Lord Brahma himself went with them. The abode of Lord Shiva, which is known as Kailash, is described in the 14 verses which follow. And how beautiful Kailash is. It's not what we see on the internet. We can see the pictures of Kailash. It doesn't look like there are there's a one lake, Mansarovar, but lakes and forests and the animals and the gardens. So beautiful it is. It is described here. Janma Aushadhi Tapo Mantra Yoga Siddhar Naretara Jushtam Kinnar Gandharver Apsaro Abhirvritam Sada. The abode known as Kailash is full of different herbs and vegetables and is sanctified by Vedic hymns and mystic yoga practice. Thus the residents of that abode are demigods by birth and have all mystic powers. Besides them, there are other human beings who are known as Kinnars and Gandharvas and are accompanied by their beautiful wives who are known as Apsaras or angels. So all these, they permanently live there. It's not like they come and go, they permanently live there. Nana Manimaya Shrurer, Nana Dhatu Vichitrata, Nana Drummalata Gulmer, Nana Mrigagana Vrata. Kailash is full of mountains filled with all kinds of valuable jewels and minerals and surrounded by all varieties of valuable trees and plants. The top of the hill is nicely decorated by various types of deer. Nana mal prasavaner, Nana kandrasanabhi, Ramanam virhanti nam, Ramana siddhayoshitam. There are many waterfalls in the mountains. There are many beautiful caves in which the very beautiful wives of the mystics are found. Text 12. Mayur keka virutam madandhale vimurchitam plavita rakta kanthana kujitascha patatrinam. On Kailash Hill there is always a rhythmical sound of the peacock's sweet vibrations and the bees humming. Cuckoos are always singing and other birds whisper among themselves. It means all these birds can only hum and sing if there is always beautiful weather. It cannot be like super cold like we see these days. It's full of ice, the Kailash mountain. Actually, it's not so, because this is all description of Kailash in a spiritual way, the spiritual element that we cannot see with our material eyes. Avyamtam ivodhaster dvijan kam duger drume vrajantam ev mataro matangor grinantam ev nirjara. There are tall trees with straight branches that appear to call the sweet birds, and when herds of elephants pass through the hills, it appears that the Kailash hill moves with them. When the waterfalls resound, it appears that Kailash hill also does. Mandare parijatescha sarlascha pashobhitam tamale shalatalescha kovidara sanarjane. Chutah kadamber nipescha nag punnag champakah patla shok bakulah kundah kurbakar api. The whole of Kailash hill is decorated with various kinds of trees, of which the following names may be mentioned. Mandar, Parijat, Saral, Tamal, Thal, Kovidar, Asan, Arjun, Amrajati. Amrajati means mango, Kadamba, Dhuli, Kadamba, Nag, Punag, Champak, Patal, Ashok, Bakul, Kund, Kurbak. The entire hill is decorated with such trees which produce flowers with fragrant aromas. Swaranarana Patrascha Vararenuka Jatibhi Kubcha Kair Malikabhischa Madhvibhischa Manditam. There are other trees also which decorate the hill, such as the golden lotus flower, the cinnamon tree, Malati, Kubja, Malika, and Madhvi. Pansodumbarashvat Palashya Plakshanya Grodh Hing Gubhi Bhurja roshadi bhi puga, Rajapugascha jambubhi. Kailash Hill is also decorated with such trees as kat, jackfruit, jeweler, banyan trees, plaksha, neogrodhas, and trees producing asafoetida. There are also trees of betel nuts and bhurja patras, as well as rajpuga, blackberries, and similar other trees. खर्जूराम्रात काम्राध्य प्रियाल प्रियाल मधु किंगुदय द्रुमजातिभिर अन्यश्च राजितम वेणुकीचकः. There are mango trees, priyal, madhuk, ingud. Besides these, there are other trees like thin bamboos, kichak, and varieties of other bamboo trees, all decorating the tract of Kailash Hill. Kumudotpalak Khwarash Shatpatra Vanardhabi Nalanishu Kalam Kujat Khag Vrindopashobitam Mriga Khaga Shakha Mriga Krodar Mrigendra Rikshashalaka Gavya Sharabhar Vyagra Rurubhir Mahishadibhi. There are different kinds of lotus flowers such as Kumud, Utpal, and Shatpatra. The forest appears to be a decorated garden, and the small lakes are full of various kinds of birds who whisper very sweetly. There are many kinds of other animals also, like deer, monkeys, boars, lions, rickshaws, shalakyas, forest cows, forest asses, tigers, small deer, buffalo, and many other animals who are fully enjoying their lives. कर्णत्रैक पदाश्वासेर निर्जुष्टं मृत्नाभिः कदली खंड समृद्ध नलिनी पुलिनाश्रियम्. There are varieties of deer such as Karnantara, Ekpad, Ashwasya, Vrika, Kasturi, the deer which bears musk. Besides the deer, there were many banana trees which decorate the small hillside lakes very nicely. Paryastam Nandya Satya Snan Punya Tarodaya Vilokya Bhutesh Girim Vibhuta Vismayam Yayu. There is a small lake named Alaknanda in which Sati used to take her bath, and that lake is especially spacious. All the demigods, after seeing the specific beauty of Kailash Hill, were struck with wonder at the great opulence to be found there. According to the commentary called Sri Bhagavad Chandra Chandrika, the water in which Sati used to bathe was Ganges water. In other words, the Ganges flowed through the Kailash Parvat. There is every possibility of accepting such a statement because Ganges water also flows from the hair of Lord Shiva. Since Ganges water rests on the head of Lord Shiva and then flows to the other parts of the universe, it is quite possible that the water in which Sati bathed, which was certainly very nicely scented, was Ganges water. So there was a lake called Alaknanda. So that was full of Ganges water, and from that lake, the further the Ganges flows. Of course, we cannot see that part of Ganges. That is a little spiritual for us. We only see from Gomukh onwards. So from beyond that, what is happening, we cannot see. But this Alaknanda, so Alaknanda, it's called Alaknanda River when it flows from Lord Shiva, and at before Rishikesh, I think Rudraprayag or Devprayag, that's where Alaknanda meets Bhagirathi and they become Ganges. Dadrishustatra te ramyam malakam manam ve purim vanam saugandikam chapi yatra tannam pankajam. Thus the demigod saw the wonderfully beautiful region known as Alaka in the forest known as Sugandhika, which means full of fragrance. The forest is known as Sugandhika because of its abundance of lotus flowers. Sometimes Alaka is known as Alakapuri, which is also the name of the abode of Kuvera. Kuvera's abode, however, cannot be seen from Kailash. Therefore, the region of Alka referred to here is different from the Alkapuri of Kuvera. According to Veera Raghava Acharya, Alka means uncommonly beautiful. Okay. In the region of Alka, the demigod saw that there is a type of lotus flower known as Sugandhika, that distributes an especially fragrant scent. Nanda cha lak nanda cha sarito bhayata pura tirtha pad padam bhoja rajasa tiva pavane. They also saw the two rivers named Nanda and Alaknanda. These two rivers are sanctified by the dust of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda. So the demigods were amazed by seeing the beauty of that place, Kailash. So obviously, even demigods in their heavenly abodes, they don't have this kind of beauty, this kind of fragrance what Lord Shiva has. Obviously, Lord Shiva's position is much higher than all the demigods. So his place has to be very, very of higher standard than of the demigods. But he himself lives so simply. He doesn't even have a house. So we'll study further what does he do, where does he live. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Regarding the offense to the Vaishnavas, you were talking when how Daksha offended Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva forgave him in the beginning, but because his offenses multiplied, so later on he was punished. So if somebody offends a Vaishnava, like you were saying, that we should go beg for forgiveness, and if he doesn't still forgive, then we cannot do anything, so we have to continue with our but I was listening to a lecture on Madhurya Kadambini, I think. In that, the devotee was telling that there are three ways of seeking forgiveness. Like you ask forgiveness, then you have to praise the devotee so he's become pacified. You have to satisfy him in various ways, even after asking forgiveness verbally. So these are the ways that you can pacify the Vaishnava. Even if that is not possible, then the only course to take is take to Hari Bhakti whole life, giving up everything in life, means become a renunciant and take the service of the holy name. And this is the remedy for offense against a Vaishnava. So such grave offense we don't commit, but then the offense is too grave and it is not possible for the devotee to forgive us because of some reason. Then this is the course we have to take.
Well, so how practical it is to renounce everything for the rest of the life and take shelter of holy name.
Yeah, to take to the holy in the service of the holy name. No, if somebody is very serious, but practicality, of course, we all want to live a comfortable material life. That's a different thing. But for someone who wants to progress in the path of bhakti, offense with offense, we cannot do any progress. So, what's the point of even practicing bhakti then?
No. Point of practicing bhakti is obviously the point is there to practice bhakti. Okay, so if somebody did not forgive us, we continue with our bhakti, with our services. Maybe later on, Krishna will make arrangement that he can forgive us.
Right. So should we not keep on trying to that beg forgiveness? We have just gone to him, fell at his feet once. We asked for forgiveness. We saw that he is not pacified. So we should not try again. We should not
We
try
can
other
try
means.
again. So we can try, but also at the same time, we should not irritate him so much that he gets more offended.
Right. Hey, if
Of
we are
course, we should
genuine,
try.
if we are genuinely repenting and we are seeking that forgiveness, not out of fear of being punished, then I think he will become more pacified. Gradually, he will become pacified more that he can easily forgive. But if we are not attempting, thinking that he has not forgiven me, so what's the point of going and irritating him?
There are many scenarios can be there, and generally, Prabhupada, if you read Prabhupada, he says the Vaishnava forgives even before we have committed the offense. It's a devotee always forgives. It's Krishna who does not forgive easily. That's where the problem is.
Yeah,
So anyway, we have to try. We have to keep on trying because
right,
our devotional service depends upon that. And
right.
moreover, this asking for forgiveness makes us humble and tolerant. We cultivate that wonderful qualities by asking for forgiveness.
Yes,
So it's better for us, not
right,
anybody else.
right. I was this lecture on this Madhurya Kadamini is very enlightening, and this same question I had, like you're saying, um, if we are asking forgiveness, that there's one point he mentioned, um, like we cannot find fault in the Vaishnava who is not forgiving. And we should not quote incidents like the case of Nityananda Prabhu, where Nityananda Prabhu forgave even Madai and Jagai who hit him with a pot, and he was about to be killed. So we should not say, he is mentioning in the Madhurya Kadamini that when we ask for forgiveness and the Vaishnava does not forgive, we should not find fault in that Vaishnava saying, oh, he is not a Vaishnava, see, he is not able to forgive me. And we quote the incidents from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime and say, see, these are the real Vaishnavas. He is not Vaishnava, hence he is not forgiving. So we are actually finding another fault in the Vaishnava that we have offended, and that is very offensive again. So if some
So,
Vaishnava is not able to forgive us for some reason, we should only repent and think of ways to pacify him. Sometimes we have to go and glorify him, because sometimes we would have insulted and blasphemed that Vaishnava. So the opposite effect is to praise the Vaishnava. So all these things are mentioned in the book, so very detailed, and I was very surprised that our
but
effort to
also the asking for forgiveness, and if that doesn't happen, then the glorification should also come from the heart, not just a lip service.
true, it has to be very genuine, and the repentance have to be there. And if the repentance is not there, then we are with that Vaishnava aparad, I think we are not going to get any taste, we are not going to move forward.
See, that's the thing. This has to be very genuine, very sincere, and the devotee can see through it that if the person asking for forgiveness is sincere or not.
Yeah. So usually whoever takes to this path of devotion seriously and sincerely, he will be able to do sincerely repent and genuinely praise, all that he will be able to do. But for one who has come to bhakti with some motives, and if he commits offenses against the Vaishnavas, it is very difficult for him to become genuine. And because of that, he loses the taste for bhakti and gives up bhakti altogether. So what happened to that little bit bhakti that he performed under the direction of a devotee for some time, at least sincerely?
So the bhakti remains, the bhakti cannot be destroyed. It just puts an obstacle in his progress.
All right.
Offenses just put an obstacle. That's all.
Right. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all very much. You all have a wonderful day. Today, Lord Jagannath has reached Gundicha temple. So tomorrow evening, he'll go inside. So please watch the other Paundi ceremony.
We are missing everything.
Yeah,
We
I
are
know.
we are just replaying those memories in our mind.
Yeah. Yeah, Jagannath's mercy. We have had beautiful memories.
Yeah, wonderful memories. Even so many years later, people are recalling it. Yesterday, I heard that we are audio by that Rajini Mataji. People cannot, forget it. They can go and have any more number of darshans and number of trips, but then nothing comes to close to our trips. It is all pure Jagannath mercy.
Yeah, it's definitely Jagannath's mercy.
It
Nothing
is one of the highlights of our bhakti in this birth.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for giving us such
No,
memories.
thank you, Prabhu, for giving me
The first
association from
trip,
that.
I still remember 3 days we went and we were walking whole day and we were eating only. Prasadam everywhere.
Radha Prabhuji, this is what inspires me. When you said no, eating whole day and prasadam is everywhere.
Yeah.
So Jagannath Puri, if you do that, you're a great devotee. They like to feed and devotees like to eat. That's all we do.
Beautiful atmosphere, no Prabhuji.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jai Jagannath.
Chalo, we can stop
Jai
here. You all have a
Jagannath.
safe, wonderful day. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much, Prabhu. Have a nice
Thank you,
day.
Prabhuji.
Jai Srila